stars, welcome to today's Metaphysics and Makeup, where we get weird. Basically, everything that Bailey doesn't talk about, we talk about over here. So, aliens, all of that. My name's Dottie. I am the brightest star. Don't forget to go check out my other YouTube channel, my Tarot Pick-a Cards, which is the brightest star. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, all that fun stuff. But let's get into the nitty-gritty of things, because that's why we're here, right? So today I want to talk about basically liberation. And when I say liberation, I'm talking about two bodies being pressed up against each other and, you know, doing some adult activities. And if you don't understand, bless your soul, this video is not for you, so that's okay, baby, because you're probably a little too young and I don't want nobody's mama coming for me, okay? So, we have all heard that we are not supposed to engage in physical activities with another person until we get married. But does anybody know why? Because me looking in the Bible doesn't necessarily tell me why, right? So we have Paul, who in Corinthians basically is like, I think it's 6 and 18. 1 Corinthians 6 and 18, he's like, it's a sin that you commit with your body. Okay, well, that helps. That helps out a lot. It's something that I do with my body, because most activities involve my body anyways. But that's really all it is, right? But then, especially if you grew up a little older school, like I did, you know that the Bible says also it is better to put it in the belly of someone than to spill it on the ground. But wait, didn't it just say that we're not supposed to do any of that? Huh? It's because it's life force, but we're not going to get into that quite yet. But what we are going to get into is the fact that Solomon, everybody praises Solomon, right? He was king of kings before Jesus, right? Like, he was the shizzle. He basically inherited the whole everything from his father. His father, David, did all the work. He basically just got to come in and live life all grand off of his father's work, which is great, right? So, but the thing about it is, when you really look at Solomon, this man was out here doing some things, right? Because he had 300 wives and 700 concubines. Go read it for yourself. I don't remember exactly where his story starts, but when it does, it talks about it. So, and none of this was a crime. When it came to God, God was like, whatever, do your thing. The only thing I don't want you to do is allow these women to bring in their beliefs into my land, because this is the land of Israel. And if you don't know, Israel is land of God. That's what it means, right? That's El is the actual name for God, but we're not going to talk. But as I was saying, all of this was perfectly fine for him to do. God didn't have a problem with it. So if God didn't have a problem with it, then what is the real problem when it comes to, you know, doing dirty things, right? So what nobody talks about when it comes down to it in the Bible is the fact that there were child diddlers. Like, the Pharisees, people that were against Jesus, had this really bad habit of going where the laws were a little looser and going and having fun and doing things they had no business doing, and then coming back and preaching in the synagogue like nothing was happening. And their favorite, honestly, was children under the age of 3. Male children under the age of 3. Disgusting, right? And then there's the fact that there were animal diddlers too. Like, as gross as it sounds, these were things that not only are we plagued with now, but we used to be plagued with then. comes down to it, gonorrhea is believed to come from pigs, y'all. Like, that means that somewhere out there, somebody diddled with an animal and then went home. Ooh. Anyways, moving on, because that's just foul on so many levels. So, that being said, like, these were things that were really an issue. But when it comes down to it, right, let's talk about marriage for a second. Because marriage is basically the end-all be-all, right? Like, you get to do whatever you want when you get married. Okay, well, that's perfectly fine. But, like, marriage as we know it now is basically about two people coming together for security on both parts. Because a man wants to know that his household is taken care of, and a woman wants to know that she is going to have a secure future. And that's really the Eurocentric view on marriage, which, if you actually break down the Bible, the views are not the same. But we're not going to get into that right now. So, but if you look at other cultures, like India, Africa, these places have a strong connection with this energy, with being free. They're allowed to move their hips. They're allowed to embrace this energy without being frowned on. That being said, honestly, a lot of the things that we deal with now are more of an, what's the word I'm looking for? Eurocentric views from the Victorian era that have been passed down to us, because a lot of this stuff is not how we believed, or at least, you know, not how my ancestors believed. Might have been yours, but not mine. Okay? So, because it was freedom, we understood what it was. Anyways, so honestly, when it comes to this whole liberation thing that we've been going through lately, because everybody's like, I just want to be free, I just want to love ourselves, blah, blah, blah. And like, people are giving away their freedom, right? Like, we're taught that it is so powerful to just give it away. So, but here's the thing though, is that what people don't realize is that sex can be used for power, control, and manifestation on an energetic level. These are the things that you can use sex for, right? And people who know this do it. But the thing about it is that really what the Bible is trying to explain to everybody is that it is an energetic exchange. Have you ever seen a couple and when they first get together, everything's okay, but then after a while, they start to just change. Maybe she will start changing her behavior, and he will, like, one's life will get better and the other one just seemingly is getting worse. Ooh, whoa, who is that beauty? Or on the flip side, you lay with somebody and then all of a sudden you're depressed, right? Like, you have all these issues that are going on in your life, but you don't know where they came from. 9 times out of 10, it's because of whoever you laid with. They brought something to you and they left it. Because it is an exchange of energy. And if you don't understand this, you'll get left with a bunch of bullshit that you didn't ask for. So, really, when it comes down to it, these things will start to manifest themselves as anger. They'll start to manifest themselves as you not being able to focus. You know, all of a sudden, it's just like you can't seem to get it together. But the only thing that's changed is the person you were laying with. That is proof that you two are not equally yoked. That right there is showing that there is an energetic exchange that's going on that is not for your benefit. It's not something that's helping you at all. It'll leave you feeling angry, or it'll leave you feeling empty. And a lot of the times, that's where a lot of depression comes from, is by you freely giving away this energy, your power, right? Because when two people come together, right, this energy can be used, like I said, for manifestation. And when I say manifestation, women have the creative ability. Men have the action. That's just innately how we were created. That being said, when these two forces come together, they come together in such a way that they can create anything and really manifest whatever they desire. Now, when it comes down to it, the Bible doesn't really talk about an energetic exchange. The only thing it says really is two people not being equally yoked. And this is proof and manifestation of not being equally yoked. One feeling empty and just discarded afterwards, where the other one walks away with their head held high, super empowered. So when you are with someone, honestly, I want you to start asking yourself questions after you're done, right? Start asking yourself, like, hey, how does this person make me feel? Afterwards, how do I feel when I'm done? Because, yeah, the loving was good, but how do I feel? Oh, wait, I'm not feeling so great. I'm feeling really empty. I'm feeling really blah now. It's because a lot of the times you'll get that energy put on you. So you need to know where that person is on a spiritual level and making sure that they are an energetic match. And when you don't understand this exchange, and you are out here having fun with multiple people, and understand, I'm not yucking anybody's yums. If you want to go to a party and bust it all open, ain't nobody judging you, baby. Do you. Be happy. Live it proud. Let your freak flag fly, baby. Because ain't nobody shaming you over here. Because, shit, everybody has their own thing as far as I'm concerned. I'm just gonna be honest here. So, excuse my French. Y'all, this is monetization problems. Oh, shoot. I really just put my binder in my stuff. Oh, yeah. So, when you're not in alignment with yourself, when you don't know yourself, your energy, this is why a lot of people just get ragged on. A lot of people just have a lot of mental issues afterwards, is because they don't know themselves. So they don't know when they're out of balance within the system. When this relationship, whatever it is, isn't working for them. They don't know it because they don't know themselves. They don't know how it is that they're supposed to feel. So a lot of the times, we walk around with somebody else's baggage on us, and we don't even take into account that this has nothing to do with us, unfortunately. Sorry, y'all. And if you guys don't have a strong foundation within yourself, like when it comes to how it is you guys are on an energetic level, this will really affect you. And honestly, these relationships don't normally work out. I'm just gonna be honest. When you're not equally yoked, the universe will do everything it can to tear you apart. I'm just gonna be honest. So, when we freely give away this power to people, actually, let me stop, because as I said before, you can literally use this for manifestation. But something I didn't touch on in the first video was polyamorous relationships. Okay? So when it comes to poly relationships, I'm not here to yuck anybody's yums. I don't really care. I'm just going to tell you the facts of it. When it comes to polyamorous relationships, if you notice, a lot of the times, these couples, when they learn how to work together, really, truly end up having some of the best of everything. Look at the Brown family, right? And I'm not saying they're actually a polygamous relationship, but look at the ability they have to just pick up and move, because each one of those women runs their own business. He feeds off of their energy just like they feed off of each other's energy. But what you also have to understand is that every time that man goes and lays with the other woman, if that woman has a problem energetically, he's gonna pick it up, and he's basically nothing more than an antenna. A lot of men are nothing more than an antenna. So when they come and they make that connection, now you two have this spiritual bond that you didn't ask for. So that's why, for me, when it comes to poly relationships, polyamory makes more sense to me, because we all have communication. Like, no matter what, we have communication. So, but that being said, they're able to really manifest things, really come all together on one accord and get things done. So there's actually a lot of spiritual, as well as could be financial benefits to being open to polyamory. I'm not trying to persuade anybody either way. I don't care. It's your body. It's your life. Do your own thing. Do whatever makes you happy, because at the end of the day, I'm gonna do what makes me happy. Macarena. Okay, so this being said, right, this power is something that lies within ourselves. This is something that when you freely give it away, the way that we've been taught that we're just supposed to be okay with giving our energy, giving our life force to somebody else, because it's really, unfortunately, what we're taught in this society is, it's just, yeah, it doesn't matter. No spiritual ramifications. That's old stuff. But what people don't realize is there's a reason for everything. It may not seem like it at the time, right? And let's be honest, the Bible was kind of crappy at explaining this to us. And you really have to go outside to look and to find what is truly inside. What are we really supposed to be doing? Because we don't have good examples of this, guys. Like, at all. Let's face it. Most of us, our parents weren't very into whatever. Then on top of it, a lot of people just, doesn't matter to me. That does not matter. No, baby. It really should matter. You really should want the best for yourself. And that's really, when it comes down to it, understanding that this energy that we're taught to just freely give away is our power. It is a connection straight into our life force. This is also why you should be really careful about when you lay with somebody as well, because you don't want to lay with somebody who's just came off their period or who is on their period. The reason why is because it's such a deep energy exchange, and this is why the Bible says that you shouldn't lay with somebody like within a week, right? Is because they still have that life force. Your period is a life force. It's life force literally leaking from your body. Well, with that being said, when a person taps into that life force, you can have more than one issue, right? Because what can happen is that this person that you've laid with has now tapped straight into your life bond, your life force energy. This creates, because it is blood, which means it's blood magic, because remember, this is all a form of manifestation. Honestly, if you go into it with the intent of something, this is how the manifestation part comes into play. You go into it with the intent, we're going to get the money for this house. We are going to buy a new car. Or whatever, right? And when two people are in love, because love is the highest frequency, that's part of the reason why it talks so much about being married, is because love is the highest frequency. That's how you're really able to manifest. Yeah, you can manifest with some rando, but it's gonna come 10 times quicker if you're doing it with somebody that you actually care about. That being said, those aren't the eyelashes I was gonna wear. That being said, really when it comes down to it, that's why the Bible talks so strongly about having a bond with one person. But even then, it's not like, can we just talk about this for a hot second? Because everybody wants to make it seem like we are only supposed to be with one person, right? Y'all remember Solomon? Do you not remember me just saying Solomon was out here doing the damn thing, was one of God's favorite people, literally had all the wisdoms of the world, people loved him, super charismatic? Did that sound like a man who, did he sound anything like a monogamous man? No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Don't even sit here and lie to yourself, because nothing about that man was monogamous. He was monogamously out here doing the damn thing with anybody who would spread their legs long enough to have it. Which is part of the reason why he at least left his son with some bits of wisdom. Like, hey, don't be out here doing the thing, because you can literally lose everything. And that's true. Money is currency, right? We've just explained and broke down how creative energy is the same thing. It's currency. So you can lose money. You can lose all of your manifestations, everything that you've been working on, just by laying with the wrong person. You'll have to start all the way back up, because you've given away the most precious form of energy. And when you learn how to retain this energy, then you're able to bring in manifestations quicker, especially if you're a man. Let's see if this actually stays. If not, we're not wearing lashes, because forget about it. Because I lost the lashes I was actually gonna wear. I guess we're not wearing lashes. Just a thing. So, but really when it comes down to it, we've never truly been explained any of this. Anyone who grew up in the church. We were never told about this. We were just told, you're not supposed to do it and don't ask why. Or at least that's what I was told. And it didn't work for me. It did not work for this girl. That's part of the reason why I ended up walking away from the church. Is because I just couldn't wrap my head around any of this. Why is it that we're not supposed to do this? Well, now I see that there's a good reason, you know? I'll be honest, I was wild when I was in the church. Absolutely wild. Now that I have a spiritual understanding and not just a biblical understanding, I'm like, oh, whoa. A lot of people get it confused, at least when it comes to me. Really, when it comes down to it, I want everyone to understand Dottie J is not a Christian. I walked away from the faith quite some time ago. It's not that I have anything wrong with them. It's that they just, a lot, and I'm not saying all, but a lot are unwilling to expand their understanding where I am, because I didn't understand this. I did not understand that really when it came down to it, what this energy was, that it was energy, that everything is energy. So just remember that. The next time you want to go lay with somebody, remember what this exchange really is, that it is an exchange, that you are risking walking away with all of this person's problems. Whatever energy their ancestors have left on them, that if you are deciding to gain your red wings, that you are essentially making a lifelong bond, something that is super hard to break. It's not just like a regular bond and calling back your energy from somebody you just laid with because you thought they were cute. It goes a lot deeper than that. Just remember that it's not all rainbows and freaking sunshine, that you can literally walk away with somebody else's demons. Is it worth it? Truly, when it comes down to it, is it worth it? And that's what you have to ask yourself. So just be mindful within your practices. Know that you can gain a lot of power when you learn what you're doing. I always say self-exploration is the best, because then you get to know yourself. Then you get to know when you're about to hit that pivotal point. And when you can hold the energy. There's a lot that goes into it. I can't really explain it on the YouTube. We're gonna have to get a patron or something so we can really go in depth with this a little more, so I can talk about some of the more nitty-gritty details, because there's a lot that goes into it. Really, when it comes down to it, sex magic is amazing, okay? And it's even better when you know what you're doing and you can do it by yourself, truly. Alrighty, guys, definitely let me know, what type of information did you pick up from this? Did it change your perspective on anything? You know, did it open and expand you as a person and your views on the world? Because that's really my goal. I'm not here to make anybody be like, oh my gosh, I can never do it again. Like, that's just me. I am a vessel. I am an open vessel. So I have a hard time just being around people. I honestly don't really engage in a lot of activities because, and I'm not just talking the like physical body on body thing, but just with people in general, because I take on so much energy from other people. So if you find that you're like this, like the way I always explained it before I understood who I was and how I am, was I'm a sponge. I absorb energy, but then once I get too full, I end up throwing it right back. That throwback has gotten me in a lot of trouble. I'll just say that, y'all. But knowing this and understanding this about yourself and who you are will really help, you know, because as a transmuter, that's what I like to call myself. And if you don't understand, it's basically you take on a lot of other people's energy, and then you yourself as the vessel have to work through it, not just for you, but for the other people too. It's not as fun as it seems. Truly. So with that being said, if you find that you're like this, that you're absorbing a lot of other people's emotions and stuff, being mindful who you lay with will really help you to retain your energy. As I said, start practicing self-play and see how that works for you. Hold an intent. Like, literally hold an intent. Start working on your chakras, right? Base up, because that's how it's gonna go. And you will know when you hit that crown. I'm just gonna say it. You will know. Alrighty, guys. Have a great day.